Hey everyone, Skull902 here, and this is Yoshi's Island Part 11. We're in the home stretch now. This is the beginning of World 6, the first 4 levels of that. And I'm real excited to get going here. You know, this is the end game, and whatnot. So, we're gonna be getting in here into the final stretch. Baby Luigi isn't too far behind now. We can get to him. We can get to the stork. It's gonna be good times. But before then, I want to get back into the Crimbo Chronicles one more time. I'll have one more in the next part as well. But it's time for Crimbo Chronicles again. And of course, as I spiel on about, Christmas memories and all that sort of junk. If you have your own traditions, Christmas memories, nostalgia, presents that you liked back in the day, whatever the case may be, or, whatever you do for non-Christmas, if you don't particularly celebrate Christmas, let me know in the comments section. I will be happy to hear whatever you got to say, so... Yeah. With that said, I have mentioned so many times, I've been exhaustive about it, about, how, the gift of a Super Nintendo 20 years ago, on Christmas Day 2001, is the reason why I became a gamer, particularly with, Super Mario All-Stars, getting those games with that system, it definitely put me on the path to gaming. It didn't just put me on the path. It like solidified me as a gamer. I've talked about that quite a bit in multiple different playthroughs. But something I don't think I've mentioned quite as much is that same year. And same holiday as well, so Christmas 2001 was also when I definitively became a fan of professional wrestling. I've talked, of course, about being a wrestling fan on my channel. Regular viewers would be well aware, of course, that I am one. But I don't think I've really gotten into my origins as a wrestling fan. I've never really told the story of how that came to be. So for the Crimbo Chronicles here today, I'm gonna go fucking do that. Because it is one of my biggest interests. So I figured that that would be a fun little subject to get onto with this. So. I believe I was introduced to wrestling at around the age of 4 by my mom, who would show my brothers and I her old VHS recordings of like the rock and wrestling era of the World Wrestling Federation. So we were getting a bit of a piece of history during those days. And basically, like, we liked it, but we mainly just watched for Hulk Hogan's matches. So, I guess, if anything, we were just Hogan fans at that point. But, a couple of years later, she would tell us more about, like, the goings-on in the WWF, when she herself was a big, huge fan. And I was always intrigued by The Undertaker. So I think there was always an interest there in seeing more, but we didn't really get much of the opportunity until I guess I was a little more assertive about wanting to see some more. And for Christmas that year, my stepsister, who I guess was a fan because of like how much of a big craze wrestling was in the late 90s. But she gifted me a tape of WrestleMania X7, which was the WrestleMania that took place earlier that year. And I say this with like no hyperbole, but I think that that was the perfect thing to gift me to like get me into wrestling because, in my opinion, you know, this isn't even like the rose-tinted glasses or nostalgia or anything talking, but I think that that is the best wrestling event ever fucking performed by any promotion, you know, WWE or otherwise. And you know, there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, like we got Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock performing their second WrestleMania main event together against each other. You know, there was The Undertaker and Triple H's match, which I think that most people now consider kind of a bore fest, but fuck it, man, I liked it. You know, there was TLC 2 between the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian, which I think is like the best match ever performed at WrestleMania. So not only do we have the best WrestleMania main event of all time, which if I didn't say that about Stone Cold and The Rock, it fucking is in my opinion. But you know, we also had just the best match in general ever, you know, that ever happened at a WrestleMania. Shit was lit, you know. I just thought that it all looked so interesting based on like the match previews and stuff like that. You know, like we had Chris Jericho and William Regal to open the show, and that was you know, nice and exciting. There was the Gimmick Battle Royal. There was Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit's match. Not to glorify Chris Benoit as a person after what he did, but you know, as a wrestler, like he was really fucking good, and you know, you put him in the ring with Kurt Angle, and they could make some magic together. Let me tell you. You know, there was the match between Vince McMahon and his son Shane. Like, there was just a lot of these huge personalities, and you know, what seemed like amazing storylines going on that I was missing out on. So, you know, that was a really fun event to watch. But it wasn't just the VHS tape of WrestleMania X7 that, you know, helped me along there. But my mom also got this really fucking sweet pack of toys. It was like this big old set that had like a kid-sized championship belt of the WWF title, as it was back then. 6 action figures, which were all names that I mentioned on the WrestleMania match card, so that was also really nice to have. They were Stone Cold, The Rock, The Undertaker, Triple H, Chris Jericho, and Kurt Angle. So we had all those figures. And they came with accessories too, like a dumpster, a shopping cart, and whatnot. I'll get into that just a little bit after this. This is our last new bonus challenge here. This is match cards, or flip cards, or whatever they called it. This is a seriously good chance to get some items. At least, you know, like, I'd like to consider my memory, like, you know, fairly good. I think that I'm fairly good is what I'll describe about myself when it comes to this game. I just, you know, stare intently at the screen and try to pinpoint as many matches as possible. And if you get a pair, then you get the item that the pair, you know, represents. So I have 2 green melons, I have 2 red melons, and I have 2 of those question mark clouds. And now I have 2 PAL blocks, so I get 1 item per pair. So now I'm about to get a couple blue melons, and so on. Now, if you happen to get most of the pairs, then the last one, instead of the item that it'll show, will give you 10 lives instead. So I had a magnifying glass and 10 stars. I get the 10 stars, but instead of the magnifying glass will be 10 lives. So that's a really nice reward for being able to get all of the pairs without, fucking up. I think that's pretty cool, and that's what makes this my favorite of all the bonus challenges. It's really nice, gets you a good chance for lives, and a good chance for items as well, in case you use items. I don't really, but that's mainly because I forget that they're even there. You can activate items from the start menu. You press right and left on the D-pad to select them, and then the jump button, if I'm not mistaken, to actually, turn them on. It's good for, say if you have star items that increase your count there, it's good for your score. So, yeah. But say if you need a melon as well, or if you just want to use one, then it's good for that too. But back on the wrestling trail, because I wasn't quite done talking about that yet. Like the figures and stuff that I got. I don't exactly remember all of the accessories that they came with, but I would presume that there was a chair, like a sign and stuff. But it was just cool to get figures and accessories. And a wrestling ring as well to play with them in. Along with the tape, it was just a great introduction to professional wrestling, at least in my opinion. Just a great way to get introduced. Unfortunately, a lot of those toys that I got would be broken, mostly by my brothers. Pretty shortly after I got them too, like the belt broke, the ring broke, and eventually the rock broke too, but that was like a couple of years later. I don't know if I have any of the accessories that the figures came with, but I still have 3 of the figures. So Rock got broken and Jericho and Taker got lost. But I still have Stone Cold, I still have Kurt Angle, and I still have Triple H from that pack, so I still have some of the nostalgia. Also, that was a sweet save. I still have some of those pieces from that initial professional wrestling introduction, So, just all around good stuff. I quite like it. A fun time. But, enough of that. Let's get back onto the cartoon, and I do have an episode to talk about, but before then, I want to mention something that I forgot to mention in the last 2 parts. So I meant to talk about it, like in part 9, and then I forgot. I meant to talk about it in the last part, forgot about that too. A bit unfortunate in that way. But I remembered now. So, the episode Born to Ride. That, how they have those, bumper cards, before an episode of Super Mario World starts, and it plays a little jingle while it shows the title card of the show. So, most of the time, it's just a song from one of the games, or whatever. Or I should say the game, because it's all Super Mario World specific. But for whatever reason, the song that plays before Born to Ride is, very different. And I was really surprised to find, at least in my opinion, go watch the episode, because I swear the little card, the music that plays while it's showing just before the episode actually starts fucking sounds like Supersonic Racing. It's crazy. And this was years before Sonic R came out as well. So just the resemblance in sound to Supersonic Racing is actually pretty crazy in my opinion. So, that's fun. And another thing actually that I found after looking at MarioWiki.com was that one of the Dino Riders you know, again, it's Dino Riders. You know, not anything to do with the show or the toys of the same name. One of them is named Rockman. So, like, not only do we have a complete ripoff of a name for the social group, the Dino Riders, but you know, there's also Rockman in there, which is a little more forgivable than just, you know, the Dino Riders name in general, but like it's just funny to me how like the group itself and one of the members have like kind of plagiarized names. A little weird in that way. Also, I nearly killed myself completely unnecessarily, but yeah. That's aside from the point. So that's just kind of interesting, but the episode that I want to talk about here in this part is 97. God, that's so depressing. That's not an episode of the show. But the episode that I want to get into here is Ghosts Are Us, which I guess would have made a little more sense for Halloween. But you know, considering the aesthetic of this world, it's pretty spooky. So I think that we can make an exception here. But yeah, the episode Ghosts Are Us. So, like, the episode starts out with, like, the princess, Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi, they're all looking for that little fucking rat bastard Uktar in the forest. Because, you know, he got lost. You see. So, you know, they need to find him. Because I guess that he has parents. Most people do. Maybe they're worried about him. I'm not so sure. I know if I were Uktar's father that, you know, I'd be terribly ashamed, but that's aside from the point. I'm going really hard on Uktar for whatever reason in this playthrough. I'm giving no fucks. Also, fuzzies make a return in this level, so that's fun. Like I said before, it's like the most precarious place. Since this is the last world, you know, they want to make this, you know, difficult, which makes sense. But my advice is to just, you know, if you're on a solid surface, just keep fucking jumping, which for some reason I'm not doing here. You know, just keep jumping until Yoshi stops being high. So, yeah. But on their little venture to find Uktar, they run into a Magikoopa. And it's not just any Magikoopa, like the one that turned Luigi into an egg, you know, the egg-faced Magikoopa. I'm sorry, I like doing that voice. But it's not that one, presumably. It's like a specific one whose name is Wizenheimer. But all the heroes keep mispronouncing his name, which is interesting. I don't know why I called that interesting, but they keep mispronouncing his name. It's like a gag in the episode. I am stalling for like way too fucking long about this. So they have this conversation, or rather confrontation, with Wizenheimer. Wizenheimer scares Yoshi in some way. I think after he threatens the others with like imprisonment, you know. This is my forest, which means that you're my prisoner now. Get in the fucking warp pipe and then I'll take you to my dungeon. He scares Yoshi off. And Mario, Luigi, and the princess at first are like, hey, you scared our fucking friend, you douchebag. This is completely unacceptable. We will not agree to your terms. We do not wish to be your prisoner. But Wizenheimer, I forget exactly what he does to capture them, but it more than likely involved magic with his wand. But you know, he gets them to go into the warp pipe, and now he's got them prisoner. Yoshi feels like absolute shit. because, you know, he was just trying to do his best to look for Ugtar, even though Ugtar doesn't deserve to be found. You know, but when Mario, Luigi, and the princess needed him most, he wasn't there for them. So he feels particularly bad about that. He gets spooked another time, but it turns out to be Ugtar. So he's like, you know, why'd you scare me? And Ugtar is like, I don't know. I think that he had an actual reason for it, but it's Ugtar, so who cares? But, you know, they agree to go to the haunted house to, like, save everybody. Also, I said that I was good at this most of the time. I'm fairly certain this is the one where I just, like, immediately fucking fail. So, you know, most of the time I'm fairly good at this bonus challenge, but this time I did not pay enough attention. But anyway, Yoshi and Ugtar, they go to the haunted house after being chased by a Wiggler. You know, and you know that whole thing ends with another brutal, horrible murder that Yoshi didn't need to commit. But you know, he swallows up the Wiggler, and you know, they're off to the haunted house to go save the princess, Mario, and Luigi. Which I must say, Deke animators from 30 years ago, and writers as well, complete and total inaccuracy. Yoshi cannot go into the ghost houses in Super Mario World. So this episode, I consider a fucking sham. Anyway, my squabbling aside, once they get there, Ugtar politely knocks on the door, and Wisenheimer's like, "Oh, kid, what the fuck do you want?" Ugtar is like, "Hey, you know, I'm here to save my friends. You know, take me to the dungeon." Or something along those lines. Like, he literally said, "Take me to the dungeon." And Wisenheimer's like, I'm cool with that. So he teleports Ugtar to the dungeon with Mario, Luigi, and Princess Toadstool. So they're like, oh my god, Ugtar, you're safe. We've been looking all over for you. Where were you? And Ugtar, you know, he's just like, ah, well, you know, I'm the king of the jungle. I wasn't really lost, you know. This is all stuff that he told Yoshi earlier, actually. But, you know, whatever. He says that he's not lost. He just doesn't know where he is. But, you know, when it comes to our heroes, sans Yoshi, he just explains, you know, I'm there to save you, but he's in a situation quite like theirs, you know, tied up to the wall and whatnot. So Luigi, coming up with another great line, he's just like, oh, well, that's great, but who's gonna save you? So Yoshi gets a little frightened, you know, he's been scared this whole time, the poor thing. So, he ventures forth, encountering boos and everything along the way. You know, he just wants to save his friends, but eventually he goes to the dungeon and finds them. And when he gets there, of course, he has a confrontation with Wisenheimer, who shoots magic at him but misses. And ultimately, that's Wisenheimer's downfall. There is that he missed, because he really telegraphs doing it again, which Yoshi takes as a sign to eat his wand. So, you know, he does that. Wisenheimer is fucking powerless, and then the day is saved. He gets Yoshi or blah. Yeah, he gets himself. He gets Mario, Luigi, the princess, and Ugtar. And it's all good. They're back in Dome City after Ugtar. Oh yeah, like Ugtar tries breaking the door down after the day is saved. A little dumbass, and he isn't able to break through, but he does find a magic key, and that brings them back to Dome City. So the day's all saved. Everybody congratulates Yoshi. Mario's like, "Hey man, Yoshi, weren't you scared?" And Yoshi was like, "Well, yeah, but you know, saving my friends, it was the right thing to do. I needed to save you guys. You know." And I forget what exactly Yoshi says next after that, but it causes everyone to laugh and have a good time. So you know, everybody's happy at the end. Yoshi conquered his fears and saved the day. So you know, good stuff. That was another episode where I feel like the animation was kind of weak. I can't pick out any particular shots from it, but like I know. Well, I guess I actually can pick out shots from it, but there's this one particular moment where, like, when Yoshi is talking to Ugtar initially in the woods, like Yoshi's face like looks really fucked up, and the proportions are quite off, which is a problem in like a lot of these episodes where the animation seems off. It's just like all about the proportions, like in Born to Ride, for instance. That's something that I thought was off about the princess was, you know, she's talking to Mario and Luigi, but all the time I'm just thinking, Jesus fucking Christ, princess. Your arms are so stubby. What's going on? But, yeah. Other than that, it's just a fun episode, as per usual, with these kind of things. And I did fuck myself there. But fortunately, I had invincibility frames. But you know, it's another fun episode. If you like stupid bullshit like me, then go check it out. So this here fortress, it's kind of a confusing one. It's a bit of a maze, but if you blah blah blah. Words. If you just follow along, then you should be able to make it through. There's plenty of like good pockets, I'm gonna call them as well. Areas where you know, you can stock back up on some goodies and whatnot. Basically, the point of this section here is that it wants you to get a key and bring it up to like, you know, a warp pipe to unlock the next area. Can't get those, what I presume are red coins because no eggs. But, like, this particular part is, like, kind of a maze to, confuse the player and whatnot. But, you know, there was, that Salvo the Slime that we faced earlier to get a key. There's gonna be another one. And I swear to God, like, I don't know, like, if it's me. It's more than likely me. I mean, I fucking suck at video games. Like, but it seems to only be in this one particular room that I fucking suck at facing this boss for, like, whatever reason. It's all about bouncing eggs off the walls, right? And, you know, getting multiple hits on them with one egg. But, like, sometimes I find that the egg just phases right the fuck through him instead of actually, like, getting a proper hit. It almost feels lucky to me whether or not I get the key from this bastard. So yeah. Thankfully, if you didn't notice, like, there was a crossfade edit there. And I had to go down here plenty of times to stock back up on my eggs, but thankfully this room does exist, because I guess whoever was like playtesting this or whatever found that part pretty hard too. But once you got the key, then you can go back up to the top levels and, you know, continue on your quest. I think that this particular fortress adds some nice character to the overall game by doing this here gimmick. It's some fun stuff. There we go. Use the key. Gotten the cork and whatnot. We good. So yeah, and now it's just a matter of taking this here long ride through a river of lava. You know, just some normal stuff going on here. Uh-oh. Yoshi, get the baby. Thank God I have a lot of time left. So, I guess, like, while we're waiting on, I'm just gonna start talking about the boss because, quite frankly, I'm running out of things to talk about, and I can't just stretch this commentary out for that long, you know, before the boss. So, as we're on our way to the boss, it's Tap Tap the Red Nose. You know, and Tap Taps are kind of bastards. We've seen them. They're like the little spiky metal ball guys. In fact, I got hit by one just earlier, trying to get a flower. You know, they basically just like jumping in place and being generally annoying. The only way that you can really get rid of them is if you knock one into another. So, generally speaking, they are some of the more annoying enemies in the game, in my opinion. So, you know, not really looking forward to this boss, but honestly, this boss isn't too bad compared to normal Tap Taps. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of Tap Taps, but this boss in particular, like, he honestly tends to take care of himself. So, you know, it's none too bad. So, this guy, his gimmick is, we see these blocks here, and we've seen them before. I called it, like, breakout, because you gotta bounce the eggs on them to take them out. And this guy's just gonna jump around the room. But, like, all the times that I can remember that I've played against this boss, he like jumps into the lava on his own. You know, he does generally follow you around, but you know, you don't need to be too serious about where you're going. So, you know, you can just break off some blocks and whatnot. It's all fine. So, Tap Tap the Red Nose for your insolence. You know, that's the fucking fate that you deserve, is jumping into the lava pit yourself. You're a dumbass. Right as I said it too. The only thing with a red nose I want to see around Christmas season is Rudolph. God damn it. There you go, you bastard. But yeah, that's Tap Tap the Red Nose. Again, not really too bad of a boss. Not one of my favorites or anything, but I do like the convenience that he tends to just kill himself. 69 nice. But yeah, that's the first half of World 6. We're gonna go into the second half next time and finish this motherfucker. I'll see you there. I've been Skull902. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.